South Africa has experienced enough political drama, but nothing could have set Parliament up for what happened in the past few days. Freedom Front Plus leader Peter Greenwald, who has been around for a long time, found himself in the middle of a heated scandal over a contentious prison deal that has rocked the ANC and beyond. What started as rumors of tainted contracts and shady deals has grown into a full-blown scandal, one so grave that it's on the verge of tearing apart the delicate power game in Parliament. The charges imply that Greenwald could have been involved with furtive transactions surrounding prison deals that may have entailed millions of rands of state funds. As per sources familiar with the probe, the contracts were issued in dubious conditions with accounts of phantom companies and silent partners earning money from rigged bids. The ANC, already reeling from internal divisions and endemic public disillusionment, blew its top the moment the news became public. For the first time, the governing party had a common target to rally against, and their enemy was obvious: Greenwald's credibility, clout, and political survival. The scandal that has been unfolding has sent Greenwald scrambling. With his reputation for biting criticism of the ANC and his skill at presenting himself as a voice of accountability, Greenwald is now on the defensive. Rather than posing the tough questions, he is the one facing questioning in the public eye. In Parliament, the atmosphere was charged as ANC MPs lashed out at him with accusations, indignation, and impassioned speeches. One by one, voices within the ruling party denounced him for hypocrisy, corruption, and treason of public trust. What was to be a run-of-the-mill session turned into a fiery test of character where Greenwald was put on the defensive and politically buried under the accusations. The irony was not lost. 4 years, ANC leaders have assaulted Greenwald for their scandals, corruption, and failure. He has established a career as the vocal watchdog who uncovers corruption and demands changes. Now the governing party has turned the tables around, using this opportunity to lash out with ferocity. Even some of Greenwald's critics outside the ANC conceded that the pace and ferocity of the backlash were unprecedented. At the center of this scandal is the notorious prison deal, an agreement purportedly marred by irregularities, dubious bidding, and mysterious beneficiaries. The critics say not only that the deal was a technical blunder, but that it was also an attempt to steer resources to private pockets in the name of reforming prisons. The contracts allegedly included renovations, security improvements, and new management systems for various correctional facilities. Whether Greenwald was complicit, turned a blind eye, or made an easy scapegoat is the key question. But in politics, perception is reality. And presently, the perception is toxic. The opposition leader who boasted of taking on corruption is now said to be caught in the same trap he once denounced. The ANC's outburst in Parliament was volcanic. For once, oppositional factions in the party appeared to coalesce. Experienced MPs, youth league leaders, and even such critics of President Ramaphosa as they are chimed in with outrage. Their anger was palpable. They presented Greenwald's scandal as confirmation that opposition leaders are no better than the ANC leaders they frequently condemn. In their fiery speeches, they argued that corruption is not limited to the ruling party, it runs deep across the political spectrum. Some MPs even called for a full parliamentary inquiry into all opposition-led initiatives over the past decade, suggesting that Greenwald's case might only be the tip of the iceberg. This fury wasn't just about Greenwald. It was also about saving face. The ANC caught wind of the opportunity to divert attention from its own current scandals and position itself as the moral high ground, a gesture widely criticized as opportunistic but unmistakably successful. Others have leapt to defend Greenwald. Freedom Front Plus members have labeled the accusations a smear campaign, with the ANC being accused of creating the scandal as a diversion from its own governance failure. On social media, the nation is sharply polarized. Hashtags such as #GreenwaldGate and #PrisonDealScandal have been trending, with people passionately arguing whether this is a real corruption scandal or a political assassination. Memes ridiculing Greenwald's past anti-corruption speeches have become viral, while others have criticized the timing of the expose just before Parliament gears up for critical votes on economic reforms. Greenwald is now confronted with the most defining fight of his political life. His integrity is at stake, and the scandal risks destroying decades of effort in establishing him as a corruption watchdog of governments. If he is unable to exonerate himself, this may be the start of the decline of his leadership. The whispers are already out on possible successes and internal divisions in his party. Some insiders at the Freedom Front Plus allegedly feel that temporarily stepping down would rescue the reputation of their party, while others alert that it would be perceived as a confession of guilt. The irrevocably unshakable Greenwald now finds himself defending himself with all his might in a political world where sharks infest the waters at the slightest display of vulnerability. Pundits argue that even if he can weather the scandal, his moral capital, the essence of his political persona, could be irreparably hurt. For South African opposition politics as a whole, it is also a wake-up call. Nobody is above reproach, and the battle for clean government must extend to both sides. As the ANC celebrates the humiliation of Greenwald, the nation is left with unpleasant questions: who can really be trusted to govern? Is there any political leader not tainted by controversy? And will this be a turning point or simply another chapter in the seemingly infinite saga of South African politics? Civic groups have already started demanding wider investigations into state contracts, not only the prison contract, claiming that corruption flourishes in the dark regardless of which party is in charge. Investigative journalists and reporters are digging deeper into the prison transaction, with some of them promising to unveil new evidence in the next few days. Even opposition parties such as the EFF have caught wind, using the scandal to call for mass political reform and fresh measures of oversight. Protesters have started showing up at government offices in Pretoria and Cape Town, calling for complete disclosure. The political stakes hang in the air, and South Africans wait with a combination of cynicism and tired hope that this time around, finally, accountability will prevail. One thing is for sure: the outrage in Parliament was just a taste of things to come. Investigations, arguments, and battles for power are bound to ensue. The coming weeks may redraw political allegiances and show uncomfortable realities about the whole system. If you don't want to be left behind on every turn in this narrative, subscribe to the channel today and ring that notification bell. The soap opera is just beginning, and we'll be here to analyze each jaw-dropping twist as it unfolds.